Have you ever thought about quitting your 9 to 5 that completely drains you out of your feminine energy, but you're too scared to quit because you're just afraid what would happen if you do quit? What would people think? What would happen to your future? You're thinking that it's just better if you just keep climbing the ladder. I'm here to remind you that that ladder does not go anywhere. Having a 9 to 5 seems like the safest route, but it's actually not. On a moment's notice, your boss can decide to fire you. What are you going to do when they decide to fire you or they decide to let you go because the business is not doing well? In this video, I'll be sharing how you can quit your 9 to 5 in a safe manner as a woman, in a safe way, because we all can just quit and decide to just call it quits. But like, what would happen to you, your future, especially if you have a family or if you're planning to have a family or you're getting older? And it's not just, you're not like in your early 20s where you can just quit right away and not have consequences. If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, or even in late 30s, and you're thinking about quitting your 9 to 5 to find better future for yourself, then this video is for you. In case you're new to this channel, I am Fariha and I'm a mom of 2. I have turned my life around from being a stay-at-home mom to having my own service-based business where I have only one client. I work from home. I spend time with my kids when I need to, and when I want to have something besides my family, I have that as well. Every woman should be able to support herself if needed, but that doesn't mean that she needs to grind it out like a man all the time. In this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing. So let's get right into it. So firstly is like, know your why. Why do you want to quit 9 to 5? Is it because they're not paying you enough? Because if that's the only, but you really enjoy like going to work, then that's really easy. All you have to do is just find yourself a better paying job, right? So no, what's your why? Do you just not like having a boss? You don't like having a boss to answer to? That's totally valid. Third reason could be that you're an introvert and you don't like talking to people on a daily basis. And in your job, you need to have those, interactions. What is your why? Really sit with yourself. Whatever puts you in a good mood, sit down with a nice cup of tea or coffee and then really think about it without any distractions, no phone, no nothing. Why do I not like 9 to 5? Okay. And then once we have the reason, everything would build on this foundation of this reason. Because if we don't know why we're doing, it doesn't continue. You'll go back to your habit of just quickly grabbing another quick, easy 9 to 5 and, basically working your life away, working and selling your feminine energy away. We're made to live life in a creative way. And feminine energy puts us in that situation and that creative flow. Number 2 is making the decision. Once you know your why, now the next step is making the decision. When we make the decision, like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing, that's when things actually start to change. When I was in Bali and I had that time to be creative, I hired a nanny for my kids and I finally had time for myself to, think clearly. And that's when I made the decision, okay, I am going to be having something of my own, some other, I've been blessed to be provided for my whole life from my father, my husband, and now it was time for me to stand up for myself, be independent. So that's when I made the decision in 2022. And since then, I've been able to earn for myself as well. So making the decision is really important, and you just decide. Once you decide, your subconscious knows, like, this is what we're doing. Number 3 is knowing your option as a woman. So for me, from what I know, there are 2 ways that a woman can be provided for. So the first one is staying with her parents, being provided for by her parents. And the second one is her husband or husband-to-be. So these are 2 ways that I know of that a girl can be provided for without any difficulty. I know, like, you can be, a friend can help you out, or maybe like, some other, like, family members can help you out, but it's not something that's natural. But staying with your parents, or with your husband or a boyfriend that's gonna turn into a husband, then of course, like, it's just natural way, and you're not compromising anything, or you basically have to be yourself to be provided for in those situations. If you're being provided for, like, by a friend or even extended family that's not your parents, basically they're going to be expecting something in return. Once you've decided that you want to quit your 9 to 5 because it's just draining you like crazy, and now we know our options. Either you move back with your parents, or you have a husband, or husband material. Okay, so quickly finding a provider husband just because you want to quit your 9 to 5 is not realistic. You're not gonna find like an amazing quality husband in a rush from a space of desperation. So we're gonna put this option to sleep for today. I'm going to focus on the parents option with dignity and with respect, because your parents are your parents. I still recommend that you have your own way of earning. Doesn't matter, like, how much you're being provided for, or like how, what kind of a sugar daddy you have, or like, an actual father that gives you a lot of money. Doesn't matter all of that. You need to have your own income. And for that, I believe that service-based business would be an amazing option for a lot of women. In the future, if any time, my daughters come back to me, I would open-heartedly, welcome them. Because for parents, like, the presence of you is the most important thing. Don't ever think like, it's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. The society has made it embarrassing just so they can use your labor. Just so that you have to be on your feet, and then there's one more person from the household that has to afford that rent, and then for that they'll have to work like a minimum wage job. So this is like the society like mindset. If you notice why the US is, the economy is so strong, is because they're using like everyone's labor to the max capacity. Because if you go to Japan, where I grew up, economy is still stronger, but not as strong as the US. And I think one of the ways is like the Japanese women, even though they are very independent, everything, but then the moment they get married and have kids, they slow down a little bit, and the men are like totally okay providing for the family. Japanese men, they don't have any religious background. It's just, it's like being a man, this is a normal thing for them to provide for their family, and they take pride in that. From the culture that I come from, like, Islamic background and Pakistani culture, this is like a no-brainer. I mean, being provided for is, our birthright. So it's not even a question that, the woman has to even contribute at all. Even if the woman earns, her money is her money, and the husband can never even ask. So it's a very different, situation. Living with your parents and that being like embarrassing is a very Western thinking. If you want to feel different than what you are feeling right now, from what you've been told is right, we need to completely relearn. And make a new experience for ourselves in order to experience a new reality. If you were taught that like living with your parents is like an embarrassment, we need to relearn that, because it's not embarrassing. It's smart. It's smart because you're not putting yourself and really just like grinding yourself, just for that next paycheck. So, if you can live back with your parents, plan for that, and then you can start your business. I can guarantee you that your parents would welcome you with both open arms. And also, if you have like such crazy relationship with your parents that like you feel like the environment is going to be so toxic, you can't do anything, you're going to be judged the way you dress, the time that you go out, like what kind of food you eat, like so many things, then I think if it's too toxic for you to go back, you think it's going to affect your mental health, then I would say the option number 2 for you here is that you decide a day that you're going to quit, like from 6 months from now, and save up enough money so that you can have a safety net before you decide to take this big action. So yeah, those are 2 options right now that I think would work. Is like, one is going back with your parents, Or second is, if that doesn't work out or you think it's going to be too toxic for you, then have enough saved up for yourself, like, a year's worth of saving or something like that. This is the best part, right? Once you decide that, okay, a year from now, I'm quitting no matter what, every day you go to this like mundane and like sad 9 to 5, you're going to be so excited because you know that at the end of this, like you have a year left to do this and then you're going to be free basically. So there's a law that's like this. It's like, even though if you keep your mind at the goal, then the pain that you're feeling currently does not affect you at all because you're looking forward to that time and you're not even here anymore, basically detaching yourself. Number 5 is hiring mentors, getting those courses, investing in yourself, spending that money and opening that block that you have that stops you from achieving anything in life. There's so many blocks that we have because of the way that we were brought up. Like every one of us were brought up with a story in mind, and that could be from like your parents, from your peers, from your friends, from your circle, your parents' circle that they hang out with. It's like, 9 to 5 is like the best way to get rich, or like having a stable job is like the way to be. All that is well and good, but like in this time that we live in where like you can use social media to grow and earn a living, this doesn't apply anymore. So we really need to relearn a lot of things. That if your parent is not where you want to be, you don't really need to really follow every single thing that they're teaching you, especially when it comes to your career. Yes, learn their values, learn your traditions, but not the career part, because they don't know where you want to go or how does it feel like where you want to go. So it's okay to be respectful and then still find your own path. And the quickest way you can do that is by hiring mentors, buying those courses. And it's not gonna be just like one course you buy and then your life is gonna change. We need to keep polishing ourselves and hiring as we unlock the next level. And the money that you invest in yourself is never a waste. Even if it's the biggest amount you can think of, you still changed. And evolving as humans is how we move forward in life. Number 6 is move with your gut. Trust your gut more than you trust someone else's word. If you're kind of contemplating like, okay, should I quit or should I not? And then you're reaching out to 10 different people. What's going to happen? 10 different people are going to give you 10 different answers. And the best answer you have is in your gut. That's what I was told by one of my mentors. It's like, she told me like, you're not trusting your gut enough. Even when you go to a restaurant, like just order, like whatever is feeling right. And that's when you start like practicing. There's like 2 pieces of furniture and that your sister is going to give you a better answer than you. Still, like, give yourself that opportunity to make the decision for yourself. If you cannot trust your gut and then also you're indecisive, it's really hard for you to move further in life and achieve something, because you're always going to be indecisive, and indecision basically equals poverty, because you never really decide and you end up being in the same position. That's not going to change. If your gut is telling you, okay, like I'm really scared to leave this 9 to 5 because I don't know how I'm going to survive, you're afraid that you might not be able to sell your services, really ask yourself, is it something that I'm really not good at, like selling and telling other people this is what I do? Or, for example, if you're a hairdresser, just letting everyone know that, okay, this is what I do. I'm taking private clients. You're telling everyone on social media, you're making videos on it. This is a permissionless leverage. Like you can, as Naval Ravikant mentions in his book, this is a permissionless leverage, and you can literally leverage as much as you need. In 2021, I was in Istanbul, and I got my hair done by a really talented guy who was around like 22 or something like this. And I could tell that he was really exhausted from what he was doing. He was working at a salon, really busy salon, doing hair. He was so talented. And I just asked him, like, what's your, dream? Like, why is this all like you're going to do, or are you going to open your own salon in the future? Like, what are your plans? He said, oh, I'm going to go to Amsterdam and I'm going to open my own salon in the future. And I really felt bad for this guy because, he was working really hard, such a young kid, and like, going out for like a quick break to like smoke, and you could just tell he's really stressed out. Fast forward to right now, and I follow him on Instagram, and I literally like he has his own successful salon in Istanbul. Right now, he must be around like 24, 25. Being such a young guy, he has like the busiest salon that he just opened in Istanbul, and he has like 80K followers on Instagram. What is he doing on Instagram? He's just showing like, his technique that he's doing. Literally anyone can make a career. Once you decide what you want to do, then put that fire of media into it, and you're bound to get your clients. If you're still thinking, okay, like, selling is not my trait, then please ask yourself, is this a block that you have from like the teachings that you had growing up? Your parents saying, oh, selling is dirty, trying to sell is a dirty thing. Oh, don't do this. Or like, what was it that made you think that you're bad at selling? Or is it actually that you truly do not enjoy? Can you hire someone in the future? Like, do it initially yourself and then hire someone to do the selling for you. There are so many ways to pivot in business when you own that business. So really find out, and the best way to find out is by hiring mentors, because then they're gonna really push the right buttons in you, and then basically make you come up with your own answer. Allow yourself to be out there. In his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, which is an amazing book on self-concept and self-perception, and I really like this quote that I want to share with you guys. The self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishment. It defines what you can and cannot do. Expand the self-image and you expand the area of the possible. So allowing yourself to live that life that you've always dreamt about. And that all starts with self-concept, self-perception. How do you look at yourself? What do you think when you think about yourself? Are you deserving of, the good things in life? Or do you think good things don't come my way because I am a bad person? Like, what kind of person are you? How are you talking to yourself? That all comes from how you look at yourself. And if you change how you look at yourself, then you're going to be allowing yourself to achieve those things, or putting yourself in those scenarios where you're going to get the results that you want and meet the kind of people that you want to hang out with from your higher self. So really ask yourself and meditate on this. It's like, what kind of person do I think I am? And if you don't like your answer, then work on this. It's like, when you achieve something or when you accomplish little victories, then tell yourself, like, change the wording that you speak to yourself. And it's like, oh, I am this kind of person. Oh, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of, the things that I want. I am worthy of, being my own boss and not having to listen to other people telling me what to do or owning my time. So, and putting yourself out there. Put yourself out there, meet with like-minded people, attend different, seminars, go to like art galleries if that's what you enjoy. Like, really just connecting with yourself from the higher self version. Like, what would your higher self, what kind of places would your higher self go to? Okay, let's just imagine that you were successful in quitting your 9-to-5 and you started your business that's making you like 10K. And now you're living this life from like a comfort of your home, like, you can travel wherever you want. Then that person, what are they doing? on a daily basis? Are they working out a lot? Are they cooking like amazing meals? Are they hanging out with family more? Are they going to art galleries? Are they listening to music? Are they making music? What kind of person is it? And then start acting like that. And that's how you're gonna be looking at yourself. It's like, you know, when you look at yourself from like the higher self version, then you see like what you're doing in current reality. If you're working at, like, let's just say you're working at a mundane 9 to 5, you look at it and you're looking at it and you're thinking, oh my God, like this job drains so much out of me. I look at myself through the lens of my higher self, like this is completely not good. I deserve better than this. The reality that you're living right now, look at your reality through the lens of your higher self. And when you do that, you're going to see what you're doing wrong. And you're going to see like, okay, you know, like it's okay for me to want to quit this current like 9 to 5 because I am deserving of that version. I already have that version, and that version, the higher self, like looks at me and then thinks like, what am I even doing? Like I need to quickly change what I'm doing in order to, you know, connect with that version. So number 7 is starting a business. You've either decided to live in with your parents, you're saving up right now, you've made the decision, but you're saving up so that you can quit your 9 to 5 and really start to build your business. And even while you're saving up, like try to still tap into your business, open your business. It only takes, in the US, it only takes like a day to open your LLC and start collecting the payments. Make money, like as much as you make on your 9 to 5, and then quit. That's also a very comfortable way. If you think like going back to your parents is going to be very toxic, if you have a boyfriend and you're thinking, okay, like I'm just going to move in with him because you know, we're in a long-term relationship, like, you know, it's been amazing and everything, really ask yourself, do you see yourself with this person, you know, further down the line? Are you going to be married to him? Is he worthy of your energy? Like, you know, is he, are you just trying to use him? Don't ever use anyone, you know, especially a man for his money. Never use a man for his money because, you know, it doesn't get you anywhere. Use your parents, you know, because they would happily, you know, help you out if you need their help. Ask your parents for help, like if you need financial help. If your parents are not able to help you out, then, you know, find out yourself. You are capable, you are more than capable of, you know, taking care of yourself. So don't ever use a man to, you know, financially support you unless he's a provider husband material and you know you're gonna be married to him, you know, like your energy is put in the right place, then of course, like, you know, move in with him or like, you know, just get married to him or whatever. But don't ever try to move in with a guy just so you can, you know, be provided for, because we don't want to be provided for by a guy that's just, you know, not even thinking of a future with us, you know. So once you've done all of this and, you know, now it's time to start your business, and that's what my next video is going to be about. It's going to be about how to start a business and market it, and also, you know, how to be provided for in the right way. If you have any video requests, then please leave it down below. If you like this video, watch this next, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.